Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. I'm gonna cover the HiFiMan and Anandas in this video. These are really popular under $1,000. Um, and yeah, I normally I don't use open back headphones, but I decided to give these a shot. So yeah, let's start off with the build. I don't think they're the best built headphones I've had. They're decent. The cups are big enough. They're soft. The design is pretty good. So for build, I'd give these like 7 out of 10. This part, it's made out of like a hard plastic, I think. It's kind of cold to the touch a little. Yes, there's not much going on. These hinges here. So yeah, overall build's okay. Nothing crazy. And the cable is probably the worst part about these headphones. As you can see, if you do this, it's like a tube type finish. I think this could break really quick. So not a good cable. Like a 4 or 5 out of 10 for the cable. It's pretty bad. Yeah, so now I guess the fit. These fit really good. As you can see, the inside of the ear cup is pretty big. So you're not going to have a problem with any warm ears or anything. One thing I did notice though, it does cause a little stiffness on your like neck after some time. But I think over time, I feel like it's going to loosen up as you use them. So yeah, that's that. So now onto the sound. We're just going to start off with the bass. These headphones have really good bass. I'd say better. I'm going to compare these to some of the headphones I use, like the HD600s, AKG K701, I believe. So yeah, the bass on these is really good. Better than those two. One thing these don't have is like good sub bass. So like you're going to get all the details in the bass. But the sub bass isn't the best on these. So yeah, when there's a lot of bass, you hear the bass, but you don't really feel it that much. Like compared to something like the Shure SC846 that has like a deep sub bass, this doesn't have that. But I think this does have more detail than the HD600 in terms of the bass. So yeah, pretty good. For bass, I'm gonna give these probably a 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, really good detail. I just wish there was more sub bass. But then again, I think open back headphones tend to lack that. Onto the mids. These are absolutely amazing. For any instruments, vocal music, acoustic. The mids really just shine through. They sound really natural, quick. Yeah, so what I mean by quick is this is a fast sounding headphone. Like the bass comes and goes, the highs are just like the speed of it, these drivers, planar magnetic, absolutely amazing. Sounds way faster than the HD600s, but the AKGs sound a little faster than the HD600s, but I think these sound faster than both of them. And obviously these are more expensive. So I don't understand why people try to compare the HG600s to like every other headphone. I don't even think they're the best under 500. I feel like nowadays you can get a lot. So yeah. So the mids on these are exceptional. You get really good clarity. It does get a little harsh. It's on the harsh side. It's not the smoothest sounding. When you compare it to like other headphones, like obviously the HD600, it doesn't have that smooth mid-range, but you get a lot more detail, like in clarity. So that's what you're sacrificing, but I think that's a more reference sound. So yeah, mids on these, I'm going to give them a solid probably 8.5 or 9 out of 10. So they're really, really good. Yeah, so basically, I think the mids are one of the strongest points in this headphone. Like anything you play, it's just gonna sound really good. These do require good recordings because if you play garbage through these, it's gonna sound horrible. Like I don't know, it just sounds funky. These are almost like it's like listening to a well-tuned speaker. You gotta feed it the good stuff, obviously. So now onto the highs. These have really, really good highs. Again, way better than HG600s or the AKG lineup. Uh, these are in between on the highs. So the HG600s, the highs are absolutely horrible in my opinion, but these have way more highs. But it's not fatiguing. Like, it's right where you want them to be. When there's sparkle, you're going to hear all the detail. You don't lose any detail. But I think there's a peak somewhere in the treble. It's not too bad. I feel like when a lot of people complain a headphone is fatiguing, they're either listening to the music too loud or they're not using the proper amplification for the headphone. So that's something. So the highs are really good. You're going to hear all the detail. They're not really fatiguing. If you do turn the volume up, you're going to notice some fatigue after a while. But overall, I don't have that many complaints on the highs. So the highs are going to get a solid, probably 8.5 out of 10. Really good. I just wish there was a little more, maybe, detail or error you could say compared to some other things I've heard. But for this price range, you can't really complain much. Onto the soundstage. So these do sound tall, where other headphones that are like circular, they have a more of a right-left feeling. These don't have a right-left feeling as much. It's almost like you get a room of sound, like just coming at you from every single direction. And every sound you hear basically has a lot of depth in it, where other headphones don't have that type of depth. They do sound tall because I feel like of the driver arrangement, like the egg shape. So if you have something like the HD 800s, that's gonna have a wider soundstage because of the circular design. But yeah, these sound really tall. Not super wide in terms of right left, if you know what I mean, but they have all the detail, all the transient responses. Basically, when you play really, really good recorded things on here, it sounds so good. Like, you don't even want to play poorly recorded music because it just doesn't sound that good. So yeah, that's the soundstage. I'm going to give about an 8 out of 10. There could have been a little more room right left wise, but it's not bad at all. So overall, I'm going to give these a solid, I would say 8.5 out of 10. For the price, they're really good. I don't think you could even get anything as good as this for the price. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. This was the HiFiMan Ananda's. So yeah, take care, guys.